It's a bit bright light. Hi guys, this is Ancient J speaking to you live from the central coast of New South Wales, Australia. That's right, Australia. Here I am on Green Cross of the World, reaching out to our global community, my global cannabis family. You know as well as I do, it doesn't matter what country you're standing in, we're all facing those same harsh, unjust penalties for the use and possession of something as harmless as cannabis. Every day, patients, people in general suffer the harms directly and indirectly caused by cannabis prohibition. The suffering that's caused daily, and ongoing suffering that could be, could be attended to, but they don't care. That's almost depressing. Except that's pretty much the way the outside world is. They don't care. We, on the other hand, we do. And their lack of empathy, their lack of attention, their lack of care, it's not a hurdle, it's not an impediment, it's not a barrier to us caring more and doing everything we can to change things and to make people decide or understand that they do need to care. That lack of caring, that lack of empathy causes a perpetual cycle of harm. And we're not just talking about the basic, the simple, immediate ones. So, like such as someone's being arrested, or someone's having their stings taken away, or even someone's not allowed to have the treatment because they're epileptic or they're trying to fight cancer. They're immediate harms. But what about the harms that roll out from them? What about the family members of those people? What about the people that love them and care for them, that have to see them suffering, knowing that that is avoidable? And this is the thing, it's avoidable. They don't have to be suffering. They don't have to be in pain. They don't have to be arrested. It's because somebody wrote on a bit of paper that cannabis is illegal. Words on a bit of paper. Words on a bit of paper that are causing untold amount of harm on a daily basis. How can you hold words on a bit of paper higher in esteem than the life of even a stranger, never mind someone you love, someone you care for, a child, a partner, a brother, a sister, a parent? We're talking about words on a bit of paper. That's all. There is no justification. All the science is really, really clear, and it is factual. Not one single person in all of recorded history has died from the use of cannabis. Not one. Okay? So, public safety. What public safety? If nobody's ever died, ever, when there's been no form of regulation, when it's been a completely illicit marketplace, if nobody's ever died from having access to all these so-called dangerous illicit cannabises, why do we imagine it would suddenly become unsafe and dangerous if it was legal and regulated and standardized? Where is the harms going to come from? If they've never been there, why are they going to turn up if you make it legal? And it's not like we're reinventing the wheel here. In other countries, and in states in the US and countries in South America and so forth, countries have made it legal. They have ended prohibition, and you know what? The sky did not fall in. The youth did not start smoking more. As a matter of fact, the facts, this is it, the facts say that youth use went down in legal states. That's a fact, right? Not a statement from a politician going, oh no, the young people will start smoking more. The fact is, when they made it legal in Colorado, the young people smoked less. That's the fact. Do you know where the actual increase in use is? And I think this is the thing they're really scared of, because the only real increase in use is with our older community. Because what they do is they end up using a little bit of cannabis oil and not taking 47 different freaking pills. Now, do you know how many billions of dollars are tied up in those old people taking those 47 different pills every day? Half of them to offset the effects and side effects of the other half. We're talking trillions of dollars. Trillions. In just what our aged population around the world is spending. Or rather, what we're subsidising for them to have. And don't get me wrong, I do believe we should be subsidising everything for when someone's old. We should make sure they have a home, we should make sure they have food, we should make sure they have good medical attention. But I don't think we should be spending trillions of dollars subsidising drugs that there's no need for. When we have something that can be effectively replaced, that doesn't cost an arm and a leg, is better for them. And as the proof in the pudding shows, when you look over to the areas where older Australian or older community use has actually increased, their quality of life has increased. They've actually, can you pop out please, mate? Their quality of life has actually gone to the point where they're running around enjoying themselves. They're active, they're going to sports. Now, we in Australia, we have a very active elder population. They want to be. We have the grey nomads. They basically spend the inheritance. They buy the big, what you guys in the States or so forth would look at the Winnebago, the big camper, and off they head. Australia's a beautiful, big old country with so many beautiful places to visit. And we have like a whole culture of older Australians travelling backwards and forwards. We also have an epidemic of prescription drug overdoses and deaths. Prescription drugs are deadly and they're killing people. Do you know, I think it's like this year alone, I think there's like 420 deaths associated to OxyContin, like opiates, prescription opiates, not heroin. We're not talking about street heroin here. We're talking about the stuff that the chemist is giving to the patient, and over 400 of them died already this year. Nobody's ever died from taking cannabis, but over 400 people have died in my country from taking opiates. Prescription opiates prescribed by their doctor. I don't think safety concern is a really big thing on a priority list for people. And yet, when they're saying why they're not making cannabis legal, it's a safety concern. Well, where's your safety concern about the people that are dying of an opioid epidemic? Where's your safety concern for the epidemic that we've had for the last 20 years in our country? People taking OxyContin and stuff like that, dropping dead all over the place. I've had friends, I've lost friends through that opiate epidemic. Prescriptions, because they go to the doctor, and I'm like, are you kidding me? No, come on, man, look, have a bit of a smoke, come and play around with me, come for a walk, we'll go for a walk, have a joint. One of those friends now is a third of the weight she was. She's just got engaged. She's in her 60s. She's actually got a life. She spent like 20 odd years in an opiate zoned out state. Lost so much of her life. You know, now she's like this 60-year-old lady that's found love. And it's a healthy weight loss. It's like she's gone to the gym and she started to care, because that's the opiates. They just create this numbness. You know, it's like a doctor. Here, you have some opiates. Does that make you feel better? I don't feel anything. That's close enough. I don't feel anything. That's close enough. It's not feeling better. It's I'm not feeling anything. I just don't care. That's prescription drugs. Cannabis doesn't do that to you. Even the veggies, when you're sitting there on the couch and you, like, you know, in the early days and you're really vegged out, couch lock. But your mind goes off into these beautiful, creative journeys. And you want to do those. You want to get involved in those kind of things. Opiates don't do that. They'll put you into a nice little zone slumber state. But you don't wake up motivated to want to do creative things. Cannabis, yeah. You get smashed and you get... We've got some, like Green Cross of the world. Green Cross, our organisation around the world, some of the art that comes in from some of our people is absolutely awesome. Splendiferous. Beyond compare. It's creative, it's vivid, it's alive, it's vibrant. These are all descriptions that pretty much capture the spirit of the cannabis community, the cannabis family on a global scale. Like here I am, I'm on the central coast of northern New South Wales. Now there's nowhere in my country where cannabis use is legal, okay? Or dabs or anything like that. So here's the thing. Cannabis prohibition exists in my country in Australia, but the illicit industry in Australia, like the cannabis industry in Australia, the illicit cannabis industry in Australia, is an industry that turns over $11 billion a year. We've got concentrates, waxes, flavoured terpenes. We've got everything in Australia that the legal countries have, except there's no taxes being paid. There's no input into society being taken from it. There's no benefits to our general community being taken from it. What we have is enforcement against it, which doesn't really impact it, I've got to be honest. The people that get done are all the little smokers and so forth. Okay, they never really hinder the industry. The industry's too big and too strong. The only way of changing the way things is in this country and in any other country is by making it legal. By taking the stimulus away from the illegal enterprises, from the illicit industries. Otherwise it's going to stay there, because it is the illegal industries that gets people killed. Cannabis doesn't kill people, but a lot of people die in the cannabis industry because they're killed, they disappear. And that's because of prohibition. Prohibition is killing them. It's like when you have a friend who you know is using too many drugs and they're being erratic in the thing, but you can't go, come on mate, I'm taking you to the doctors. Why? Because you know if you do, they'll get arrested, maybe you'll get arrested. So that trip to the doctors never happens, so the help that that person needs is never sought, it's never received. That's what's killing people, the inability to seek help for those that they love, the inability to provide help for those that they love. Prohibition is what is killing people. It's not a drug, it's not any of the drugs, it is the prohibition, the thing that stands as a barrier between the people and the help that they need, whether it is because they're using too much or their life spiralling out of control. There's a myriad of things that happen, and it's not the drug, it's the stuff that's happening in someone's life, and they turn to a drug, they turn to alcohol, or they turn to amphetamines, or they turn to whatever. They need help. But the thing is, if they turn to something illicit, then it brings into play the law. And you can't help someone without coming afoul of the law, so everyone gets arrested, and there's no help in getting arrested. You don't help someone by getting them arrested. Ever. That's never helping anyone. You are never helping anyone by going to the police. Ever. You are always causing more harm. Because prohibition is a baton that will be used to smash down the free spirit. It's so weird being in like an actual sunny place. I've been like down south of Australia, like not right down south, but in Victoria, in the southern part of Victoria. It's like bloody cold for months and months and months, actually. And it's lovely and warm here in New South Wales today. I'm actually so warm. It's yummy. Which is good. Look, this was only just a brief hello. I've been on the road a lot over the last couple of weeks. There's going to be some more stuff. We're actually going to be live broadcasting some events. We're actually in the process of organising a national tour, which is why I haven't really been streaming as much lately, is because I've been head down, bum up, organising, setting out schedules and all sorts of the behind-the-scenes stuff that must take place in order to have the things out there in the public eye. Also, right now, we've got a membership drive on for the MCUA Australia. Now, that's the Medical Cannabis Users Association. You don't need to be an Australian to join and to become a supporter. It's $5 Australian per year. There's a link on the Ancient J page if you go there. What it is that it covers our insurance and stuff, but with this tour I've got coming up, I really need a little bit of help with venue hire and stuff like that. So I'm basically reaching out to the world, and I've got a little bonus promo thing on at the moment. If you go to the Ancient J page, you'll find the link there for the membership. You'll also find the guidelines. So if you join the MCUA before the 25th of this month, you're in the lineup to win this really cool Twisty Bubbler kit with a Magic Butter silicone glove and some shake bags and some bits and pieces. It's just a little bit of a, hey, come on, we're having a membership drive. Join! 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 And if you're already a member and your membership's coming up, which it comes up next month, join now to be eligible for the draw. You can do that, okay? It's important. I need your help, please. There's also a GoFundMe for the Cananana tour. Look, if you're rich and you want to make sure, things change, put some dollars in there. If you're poor, put $1. If you're rich, put $1 million. Actually, it's only up to 100,000, but feel free to go above. I don't mind. We're trying to get something happening here. It's not just here in Australia. The Cananana tour, if it builds up and builds up and builds up to where I think it's going to go, it's going to be leaping over the water and arriving in the UK and Canada and the US of A. Yes, indeed. It's a concept. It's an approach. And I believe it will be effective. But I need your help, I need your support. So please pop over to the Ancient J page and help me out. Do the likey, stalky, followy thing. Because everyone likes that. Get it? Likes it. And remember, sharing is caring. This is Ancient J signing out from Green Cross Australia, Green Cross of the World and Green Cross UK, here in Green Cross of the World. Thank you all for joining me. Have a lovely day.